National Assembly member for Jara East has, during the second reading of the Forced Labour Amendment Bill of 2020, said that dignity of labour does not exist in the Gambia. Men and women of substance, in his view, have been wallowing in abject poverty and untold suffering because the system is not cognizant of their plight. Fatmata Kasim takes us through in this report.
It could be recalled that the motion for the second reading of the bill titled Forced Labour Amendment Bill 2020 was moved by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice July last year. The motion was seconded and the debate on its general merit and principles ensued accordingly. Thereafter, the bill was referred to the Assembly Business Committee for commission. As the lawmaking process continued, Seni Toure made a highlight of underlying lapses in work principles.
In Africa here, people prefer to work not because of the reward, but because there is glory in work. We work because of the glory of work, not because of the remuneration. Honorable Speaker, you'll see men and women who are able-bodied, toiling and moiling under the sun, under the blazing sun. But at the end of the day, they are paid a pittance. And that is quite disheartening. I believe this report is here to address some of those anomalies. Honorable Speaker, labor has to go with dignity. This is why we keep saying there is dignity in labor. But in this part of our world, Africa and Gambia in particular, this slogan, that is labor, there is dignity in labor, is yet to be achieved.
Children on daily basis could be seen hawking on the street, helping their parents in search of basic needs for their families. The National Assembly member for Busumbala, Sekou Bajaju, raised concern on safety of such children in different public places. He urged for the commitment through legislations to protect minors from all forms of abuse.
Children we see that are being exploited, and it's a detriment to their safety, not health. If you go to the garage, the car parks, from Westfield, let me start from Westfield, right to Tabokoto, between these two highways, you see young children with plates of nana, water, bananas, selling. If not health, but their safety. And the impact is going to have on them. Because at that age, if those children are introduced to money, they don't concentrate on their education, they will, one way or the other, will want to get money, if it is not that way. So it can bring anything. I raised the issue here, it's not being catered. So why I want to bring it back again is the presentation of the Minister of Trade, that this doesn't include those ones. But how are we going to clarify or signify the work that those children are doing? Can they be captured, or are they captured in this? At that age, those children should not be, because you say force, but in this provision, there is no force before that word. So probably you will say, okay, they are not forced to do it. But what section B is saying, any labor which is exploitative or hazardous to their safety. To me, those children selling in the car parks, in the garages, along or between those two highways, is hazardous to their safety. I want the committee to think about that. How are we going to safeguard the protection of those children to avoid them to be exploited in that manner?
For the NM Drame, the National Assembly for Tumana constituency is of the view that families where some of the parents are less concerned about the well-being of their children should be known. This, he said, will guide the implementation of law through advocacy engagements on constitutional rights of the child, especially the areas dealing with health and safety issues.
One of the primary functions of this body is to make laws. and we try to engage the other arms of the government, that's the executive, to make sure that the laws that we make here are enforced, so that we don't just make them to pack them in cupboards to carry dust, but we make them to be enforceable, so that the reason why we made the laws can at least be met. So this is something that I think all these other acts or whatsoever we want to make here, any laws, it also have to follow the same trend. That we have to make sure that those that are to enforce the laws look at it and make sure that they are enforceable, or they make sure that they enforce them.
Children living or walking on the street are some of the most excluded and unprotected in the world. While some are homeless with their families, others return home at night after walking on the street. Many others are without parental care or a home and have no viable alternatives. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Fatoumata Kasim.